I think that the core issue is that, you know, Monique, from what I've observed, my focus is on protecting the victims and protecting the community. Monique's entire framework in the law, in trial lawyering, we talk about framing the issue.
Sure.
And so her entire focus is on the defendant. And it makes sense because she was a public defender, right?
Sure.
And so she was a public defender for 2 years here in Orange County. But, you know, I think the state attorney's job is to protect the victims, focus on the community, protect the community. And every organization in our society has a mission. There are wonderful civil service agencies in our community that are funded by the government, that should be fully and overly funded by the government. And their mission, you know, one would be maybe fighting homelessness, another would be fighting poverty, another would be fighting helping people with mental illness, drug addiction. Those organizations should be fully funded. However, their mission should not be placed on law enforcement and the state attorney's office. It's not the state attorney's job, just like it's not a cop's job to teach your kid math.
That's correct.
Right? And so it's also not the job of the state attorney or the assistant state attorney to focus on, well, you know, what happened to this defendant in their childhood to cause them to become a criminal. You know, that makes you lose
social working.
It makes you lose sight of. That's funny that you say that, because my analysis, and my mom was a teacher in elementary school in the 60s in Chicago. She has a master's degree in social work. I am very pro education, very pro social work. The state attorney is not a social worker. And I believe that Monique Worrell approached that job as someone who wants to be a social worker. And if she wants to affect those spaces in our society, she should have run for state legislature.